Happy Fire Alarm Friday and welcome to System Test 10. So today's system test is going to feature a couple of unique devices. We've actually got one that's more of an antique here on the system that I obtained a couple weeks ago. And then there's also a pretty unique Faraday horn that we're going to be using that I think you guys will enjoy. So start out here, we've got the notifier NANN80 as usual, just sitting here acting as the system annunciator. And then as the pull station for today's test, we've got the Couch F1G. Now I did purchase this one off of eBay and it was supposed to have a glass brake rod in it, but it befuddles me how the glass brake rod is broken and the station is pulled whilst it's packaged in bubble wrap. Somehow during shipping the device was pulled and the glass brake rod was shattered, so I don't have the glass brake rod to show you guys today, but that's okay. Nonetheless, we will certainly still get to demonstrate the device, and it's kind of interesting just how simple this pull station is compared to the construction of more modern ones. This one has certainly stood the test of time, and it's looks pretty good for its age. There's really only a bit of paint damage here on the Couch logo, but other than that, it's still a great station. The red looks beautiful. I'm not sure how it comes across on camera, but it's still bright red, just a little bit of paint wear on the white there. So the horn today is going to be a Faraday 5337-W. Now this looks a lot like the Faraday MTL, and it's very similar to it except for the fact that it uses a 3-tone horn instead of the 8-tone horn, much like the UMMT had. This one only has the 3 options of tone, warble, and siren, and today we're going to be putting it on warble, and the panel will be coding it, so that'll generate our cadence options there. But it does have the bubble strobe, which does make a bit of a difference. It's a 15 candela strobe, so it's not very bright on its own, but the bubble lens does change that light distribution quite a bit. Moderator alarm is up there as usual. We won't be doing anything with that because I am still working on that. That'll be coming soon, patent pending. And yeah, the fire alarm panel is still all the same. It's the MS5UD3. And right now I've currently got it, again, set to warble, and the panel is set to temporal. So let's go ahead and get into the test. It's quite a shrill sound. There, we'll go ahead and silence here. And the strobe actually does flash with the ADA specification of 1 flash per second, so it's pretty nice that it still lives up to the correct standards if you truly wanted to use it today. So let's go ahead and reset the pull station. Now the F1G chevron does require an Allen wrench to reset, so I've got a little Allen wrench here. Just insert it and then pull the station open. Now the station is spring-loaded, so it does auto-reset the handle there. And if you were to install a glass brake rod, you'd actually just lift up this front fascia here, and the glass brake rod goes right here. It lifts up the whole handle off of the device, and then you just put it right there. So, go ahead and put that back. Now, the thing with these is, at least with mine, the locking mechanism is not spring-loaded, so if you don't tighten it back, it will it'll pop back open. It's not like the 270 SPO where it just springs back into place. So let's go ahead and reset the system here from the annunciator. We'll go ahead and acknowledge. And I think we'll go over and we'll set the panel to march time here for the next clip. Alright, so now we are back at the panel. Let's go ahead and get this set up for march time. So we'll go into programming mode, and no default password for you. So then we'll go NAC2, coding march time. We'll reset the system. And I do still have that little voice evat card sitting in there for whenever we decide to do that again here. I might have to get another speaker strobe because the Siemens one is just hanging out up here on the shelf. So let's move on over here back to the pull station, and I think for this one, we'll just go ahead and key activate it. It's really just an Allen wrench activation. So pop it open. really interesting sound to it there. Now, what I do find interesting is on this particular device, the power supply makes an interesting noise, just with the FWR and the current draw. I'm not quite sure why it does it on this device, but it does it. So we'll go ahead and reset the system. Of course, all of our troubles are still there. I did see a comment on last week's video that was asking if there was a ground fault on the system. No, the only fault on there is the open fault from the Zone 5. NAC 3 and 4 would have a fault if I actually had those NACs enabled, but they're not right now because there's no terminal block. I still need to get a package of terminal blocks for this panel because I am short terminal blocks, so I'll need to get those. I ended up using the little 4 block for the annunciator down here on the AN bus. So let's go ahead and we'll set it to steady so that way you can hear the full warble tone of this device. So we'll go back into programming mode. We'll go back over to NAC 2. We'll put it on steady and reset. And I think for this one, we'll use the drill button over on the annunciator. There we go. So let's come on back over to the annunciator here. And then push and hold for 2 seconds. Okay, I meant to hit silence there, but I wound up hitting reset. Yeah, that tone is absolutely awful when it's not coated by the panel at all. It's very loud, very shrill, and would certainly get your attention. It sounds more like a burglar alarm there, and it certainly makes me want to leave the building, so I guess for that matter, it's doing its job there. But anyway, that is all that I have for this week's edition of Fire Alarm Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.